Hello and welcome back. This is day 3 of our 10-day challenge of hope. I am Wendy Pickett from Willow in the Wood, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're on this journey with me. I'm so glad that we are together. Even though we're not in the same house, we know that we're not in this alone, right? Yeah. So today I wanted to talk to you about mindset. Our minds are either our biggest asset or they are our biggest enemy. Let me explain. It isn't your finances, it isn't your physical health, it isn't your location that is causing you to stumble as much as it is what you think about it. I went to a seminar back in the day, and it was put on by, I believe it was Pikes Peak up in Seattle. They've got a fish market up there, and it's been a tourist attraction. I don't know if you've been, I've not. I would love to go sometime. And the people who are working there just have the best attitudes. They're throwing these big fish around and having fun, and it's just fun to be there and be in their presence and watch them perform their work because they have such a great attitude. In this seminar, they told us that we had an opportunity every day to choose what our attitude was going to be. Just as an actress or an actor who's getting ready to go on stage, they may have just had a fight with their spouse. Their dog might be sick, their car might have broken down. Yet, as they are preparing to go out on stage, they're preparing themselves mentally as well as physically to go out there, and they're going to become that persona that they are acting. There's businesses who I saw this when I was there at the seminar. They've got these intention cards. And I've seen this also with my Tai Chi class. And I also have let's see, I've got one somewhere. Oh, looks like it's moved away. I might have cleaned it up when I cleaned up my space yesterday. But making an intention for your day is extremely powerful, because if you come out with, oh, this is going to suck, today is going to be so bad, guess what? You're going to have a crummy day. And one of the things that I do, not all the time, but a lot of time, is I tell my husband, I said, it's going to be a great day. I may not believe it when I say it. However, when I say it, I am making the intention known. This is what I wish for myself. This is what I wish for my husband. This is my intention for the day, that it's going to be a great day. Now, you can have other intentions that are positive. You can say, this is going to be a productive day, right? This is going to be a fun day. You go to an event, this is going to be fun. And you're priming yourself to set things in motion the way that you want to. There's so many great little sayings out there, and you know that on my page I love to put these graphics with these wonderful sayings. And forgive me, I know I'm not going to say this one right. I don't have anything prepared, nothing's written down. It's just all coming from my memory right now, which is suspect at times. But there was the story of an Indian. He was talking to a young brave, and the young brave said, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I'm just so afraid at what's going on. There's, things out there that could eat us. I don't know if I'm going to be able to win the hand of the squaw that I want to marry, and I'm just always worried about this. And the older Indian, the chief, he said, inside of us, there are two wolves. One of them is fear and anxiety, and the other one is peace and prosperity. And the young brave says, well, how do I know which one is inside of me? How do I know? And the wiser Indian said, it's the one you feed. We all have both inside of us. However, the one that comes out and is the strongest is the one you feed. I thought that that was a powerful message for us, for myself, that I have the option to either feed my fear and my anxiety, or I have my option to feed my optimism and my joy. I studied neuroplasticity. That's a big word. And what that means is the plastic brain. It's a brain science. And I have found out that I have more choices. I'm not just at the whim of fate here. I get to make some choices. One of the things that I learned about neuroplasticity had to do with habits. We are creatures of habit. And the reason we are is because our brain's job is to keep us safe. Our brain wants us to do the same thing over and over and over again. And when we don't do the same thing, if we try something different, our brain wants to put the brakes on it because it says, hey, wait a minute, this is something that is new. We're not sure what's going to happen if you do that. If you go and you apply for that job, if you apply for that grant, if you start taking those salsa dance lessons or whatever, there could be danger involved. And so what happens is our brain changes from our higher thinking to our fight or flight reflex. And I'm sure you've probably heard of fight or flight. But what happens is when this happens, first of all, we're not able to think as in depth as we were previously, because what's happened is the energy is going to our physical body to prepare us to fight or flight, to run away, to fight or run away. Also, there's something in there, it could be freeze too, but I'm going to go with the fight or flight right now. So some of the physical things that happens is we have more shallow breathing. We're not breathing deep. We have an upset stomach, because what happens is when we are in a stressful situation, when we are in danger, we're not going to stop and sit down and have a sandwich. So our digestion system starts to slow way down, and this can cause some gurglies in your tummy. We have tension in our muscles, and I'm sure you know it when you could feel it like in the back of your neck maybe, and your breathing becomes ragged. Your palms can sweat because you've got so much blood rushing to your extremities because you're ready to fight, right? Or to your legs because you're ready to run away. This is great if you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, right? Or something. But if you want to go in and ask for a raise, you want to go in and apply for a job, this fight or flight reflex is not going to be beneficial to you. So I'm going to give you 2 bits of information. One of them is how to switch it back. This is how to overcome fear. I told you the physical symptoms of what happens. Your shallow breathing. One thing that you can do to switch it back to your higher thinking so that you can calm down is to take those 3 deep breaths I talked about. Remember? And I even do something more I was taught in my Tai Chi class. For me, this is more of a release. And yes, I do it at my home. Maybe out in public might not be appropriate, but I totally let it go. I go, ah. Try it. Feels really good. Ah. It's good for me right here. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and she said, "You are so good at talking in front of people. I could never do it." Well, I got news for you. I get nervous. I'm nervous. It's helpful for me to do these exercises to just let it go. Another thing is, remember how I told you that your stomach will slow down its digestion and you'll get like a gurgly tummy? You can chew some gum, eat a little something, like eat a cracker. And this and the slow breathing, both of those things serve to give your brain the signal that we are okay. We are not in danger. And it will switch your thinking back to your higher thinking, switch your brain back from fight or flight to your higher thinking. This really does work. One other thing is to take a power stance. And you might have heard this too. My favorite is Wonder Woman, where I put my hands on my hips, my chin up, and I put my legs kind of apart, and I stand up there like Wonder Woman. And if you can just stand like that for a few minutes, also this is interesting, your testosterone levels will rise a bit, and you'll be more willing to take risks. So there's some inside information on a thing called neuroplasticity. How we choose to face anything is within our power. We can just admit defeat right away, or we can decide that we're not going to let whatever the challenges we're having take control over us. So yesterday I had some food. I have a gluten sensitivity. It's pretty bad. And I have found that I can eat organic wheat. I can eat organic things, excuse me, without having too much trouble. Well, yesterday I had the most delicious organic tortilla and I got really sick. And whenever I get that sickness, I feel like somebody's used my belly as a punching bag. It's not fun. It's just definitely not fun. And it carries over for at least a day. So I'm here. I've got a bit of a tummy ache. I got a bit of a gurgly tummy. And I could say, oh gosh, it's going to be bad. You know, my stomach's going to be hurting me. I'm going to be not able to do much. Or I can change that, the way that I think about it and the way that I say it, and say, I'm going to have a challenge. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge today. You see the difference? It's going to be a bad day. My stomach's going to hurt. I say, oh, my stomach's going to give me a challenge today. A challenge is something to overcome, right? You know, did your parent ever tell you you can't do something? And of course, as soon as they told you you couldn't do it, what did you want to do? That's right, you wanted to do it. So a challenge is something that I can rise above. A challenge is something I can rise up to meet. If I have a bad day, if my stomach is killing me, think about that verbiage, right? And that's another thing, another way that we can use our brain to our benefit is watching what we say. It isn't just throwing, sprinkles and unicorns out there saying everything's going to be just fine. I'm not saying that. I don't have this Pollyanna attitude that everything's going to be just fine. What I am saying is that we have a choice and we do have say-so in how we are going to face whatever challenges that we have in front of us, right? And I think that that is something we all need to do. We need to all be aware of every day. What is your intention for the day? What is your intention for your day? Are you going to finish up on that task yesterday of creating your space for yourself? I've gotten mine a little bit different, a little bit nicer here. I've got my flowers I put over here. I love flowers. These are just silk flowers. I don't care. They're bright. They're pretty. I moved a heart over there in front of my dream sign. And just having that sign there is a visual reminder for my brain that I have the option to have big dreams. My daughter was very kind and made me a dream catcher one year for Christmas. This thing is huge. I'm going to bet it's probably 10 feet tall. And I've got it outside my bedroom door. When I go up the stairs, there's that dream catcher, and it's huge. And that dream catcher to me isn't just a reminder of her love, because it certainly is a reminder of the fact that she took effort to create that, and how lovely that my daughter's creative. But it's that I have big dreams. Every day I see that, I remember I have big dreams. Now, dreams are great, but we need to have action, don't we? We need to take action towards our dreams. And I remember my husband once telling me, it's kind of funny. He says, don't start so many things without finishing them. Okay, I admit that that's been kind of my, mode of operandi. And I just kind of put everything out, start projects, and then I'd move on to the next projects. I'd like, oh, look, something else to do. Oh, look, that needs my attention. And it was frustrating for him because I was leaving messes about. But I have to disagree. Start stuff. Because if you don't start it, you're never going to finish it. I put out a video not that long ago about a rock that I had started painting, and I didn't like it. It didn't come out right. It was all uneven. It didn't look good to me. So I put it in a box with all the other rocks and sat out there. And one day I went out and I found it. And I said, I'm going to finish this. And I made a little video about me finishing it. And it actually turned out quite cool. We don't have to do things perfectly. We just need to start and then do a little bit more and a little bit more. And this is true of everything. Everything that you see around me started with something. The flower arrangement over here, it started with me buying silk flowers. It started with, another step was I found the vase. Maybe the vase was the first step. And then it was putting things together. So everything happens with a step. Everything. Over the last couple days, I decided I was going to do some art. When I feel good, I am more productive and I am more creative. And I have been feeling better since I have been doing these challenges. I hope that they've been making you feel better too. Please let me know in the comments, and let me know where you're hailing in from. Like, what part of the country, what part of the world are you from? And how are these helping you? I'd love to hear that. That will feed me and help lift me up, as I'm hoping that I'm lifting you up. So this piece of art that I started out with pencils. You just kind of flesh it out. I got my ruler, I was making my lines, and I remember I took some pictures of it and said, oh, look what I'm making, to a friend of mine. And I knew that it wasn't anything amazing, but I knew that it had the potential to be. Just like you have that potential in every day to make it something special. So I'm going to show you my piece of art over here. Let's see. Reach up. Oh, there we go. There it is. You can see there's details in it. And I thought about sending this to my old boss, because I used to doodle. During our meetings, I was taking notes and I would just doodle. And I remember him talking to me one time, asking me, I'm not sure that that's really appropriate that you're doing that during this business meeting. And I asked him if there was any problem with the notes that I was taking while I was in the meeting. And also, was it distracting? And he said, well, no. And I said, okay, Well, I could show you studies where it shows that you actually retain more information if you are doodling while you're in a meeting. And he said, no, that's fine, Wendy. So I wanted to show him this doodle over here because, see, I call it doodle. Now I suppose it's actually art at this point, isn't it? Isn't that wonderful? How you can start something so simply and over time you become better at things. And that's what happens. I'm going to circle back around to our brains. Remember how I told you our brains don't want us to do anything new? Well, if you do things enough times, eventually it will become something normal, something that isn't new anymore. And your brain will accept it as normal, and you will no longer have that aversion to doing it. What happens to me when I try something new is I feel like I'm being choked. It's intense. And when I feel it, I go, ah, I know what's happening. That's that brain of mine causing trouble again. And so when I understand how my body reacts in those situations, I am able to recognize it, and then I'm able to do my steps to breathe or have a little piece of gum or mint or something. So that is it. I want you to, today, your challenge is to pay attention to your intent and how that affects your day. I'd like you to say it right now. It's going to be a great day. You know, just saying that makes me smile. Try it. It's going to be a great day. Use that brain of yours. It can be your greatest asset. This is Wendy at Willow in the Wood. Have a wonderful day. Pay attention to your intentions and make intentions for whatever it is that you're going to do. And I will see you again tomorrow. Have a blessed day. It's possible. You've got the power to make it that.